Hi! Welcome back. Me and my bestie today are having a bestie day, and the other day, so Friday, today's Sunday, she did my makeup on me. I'm gonna show you the picture. And I did my hair like in a certain style, and I texted her and I had said, I was like, I need you to please come over when we hang out and just walk me through everything that you did on my face so I can go buy the products, have like a thing, like an actual video on my phone. So I'm gonna record it too with my phone, just so that way when I'm doing it by myself, I have like a reference.
Hell yeah.
And what's so funny is because we became friends initially.
I know. She was my first makeup client when I moved to Nashville. And then we happened to be living in the same complex.
And we didn't even know it.
Hi.
I know.
And we didn't even realize it. And then I thought I was tripping when I read your text of like the address. And I was like, am I okay? This is where I live.
Like, I live there.
Right.
So she's gonna be doing my makeup first, and of course it would not be a day if we weren't making a TikTok out of it. So
okay, you're awesome.
so she's like, so she kind of goes like this with her head, like,
you got it.
and then she goes, the other one is like,
Blocked.
okay, I really like that one though.
I know, it's gonna be fun.
She's like, mwah. Mwah. Okay, hold on, because I'm gonna need to record this on my my own phone. You guys are gonna be seeing the making of this TikTok, and let's see if I actually pull it off. She's like up close though, like this, right? And then she's like, I can. Okay, so, mwah. Okay, let's do it with the audio on yours, because I just have a really good camera on mine because I have the 15. Sorry!
I have the 13. Sorry, I'm poor. Help me, I'm poor.
Fuck!
That's okay. Oh, you should see me in my room when I try to do this shit.
Okay, try again.
Okay, so reminder, mwah, then give it a second, and then go blocked. Put your finger on the camera.
Okay.
So that,
Wait, why don't I just go to TikTok right here? Okay.
you got this. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the... That better have been the one with the amount of powder that's on your face. Yes! How many tries did that take? We've been at this. Okay, wait, because I did look at the clock earlier. It was like 4:30 when we got in this bathroom.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm not saying like that. It's fine. I'm just saying it's funny because we've been in this forever.
Oh, wait. And then dress. Okay. Now we can finally get to the actual makeup. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. All right, we're actually doing my makeup now and getting the full-on lesson.
Mm-hmm. First product.
Hyaluronic acid.
By The Ordinary, but any good moisturizer will do.
But we anything but ordinary.
That's true. Correct. Moisturize the face.
Okay, she is a makeup artist teacher, so can you teach us these things?
Okay, so before you put any like makeup products on, you want your skin to be hydrated because it'll avoid dry patches and it kind of makes like an even base for everything. And then as your skin naturally like dries out during the day, the makeup won't cake up as much because you have this moisture underneath. But you want to let it sink in. You don't want to like put this on and then go straight in. So what I do is I let that sink in, and then I go on to brows. I have really unruly brows, so I use this Gotta Be Glue eyebrow gel, but use whatever you want. This is the only thing that works for me. I've tried a million, and this is the best one.
Can you show the product in the camera?
Yes.
So people can see.
Got to Be Glued, the spiking glue, styling spiking glue. They have a giant one. This is just the travel size one. And less is more. You kind of just want to get the brows in place and then let it get kind of almost dry, and then we'll flatten them. You'll see in a second. So while that one's drying.
And then what is this tool that you're using? It's like a spoolie.
Yeah, so I love this tool. It's by e.l.f. There's a spoolie on one end and then like a flattener on the other end. It's their brow lamination tool, I think, because it gives you that like feathery brow look, but you can also, you don't have to do like a feather brow look for sure. So like I'm gonna go in and flatten this down like this, but then if the hairs are ever like too long, you go back to this end. And then you kind of just create like
a perfect curve. Okay, love.
Yeah, so it's like the mix of like the feathery brow.
So as you guys can see, like just that little bit on my brow makes such a huge difference.
And we'll fill in the tails too, but I'll wait until the brow gel's like fully done. So we'll do that at the end. And then at this point, the moisturizer has settled in. So we're gonna go with primer. This is my favorite. It's hot as balls here in Tennessee. So this is great in general, but it's a gripping primer by e.l.f. It's like $10.
It's called the Power Grip. If it will. There we go. Power Grip Primer.
And it's super sticky, so whatever you put on top is going to just cling to it. It's also fairly moisturizing as well. So you want to put this everywhere. I don't like to bring primer too much under the eyes because I feel like then it can get a little bit too much product under the eyes. So I just do it everywhere else except there. And you want to bring it under the chin too, because we don't have a foundation line, people. You do it everywhere. And then my favorite combo for skin is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, which is essentially a primer, but it has a little bit of glow and tint to it. You can wear it by itself. And then I mix it with the L'Oreal True Nude.
There we go.
Yeah. Liquid Serum Foundation. Hyaluronic acid tinted serum foundation. So I'll make a concoction on my hand. If I was doing my own makeup, I would just put them directly on my face. But we are sanitary over here. This is from my kit. This is in the shade, to get Dominica's shade, I use the shade 1 Fair for more of the glow. And then the shade, the Perfect for Her foundation is 2-3. Because I used this on her the other day.
And that's, show them the combo color mix.
So we're mixing them together. It would focus.
There
and then I'm gonna mix it. I always custom mix shades for when I'm doing makeup on clients. And then turn your head this way so you can see how good of a match it is. And you want it to basically blend right into the neck. And you always want to start with most product on the cheek area because that's where you typically need the most coverage, and just bring it down slightly. You don't want to start in like the forehead or the center of your face. Typically you want to work from like the outwards in because that's mostly where you need the most coverage.
I already feel like a 10 out of 10 with just...
Okay. Then I like to do a tiny bit of, this is my favorite concealer of all time. It's what's in my kit, obviously. I need to clean everything, but this is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. It's so, so good. So I like to have some darker shades well, I mean, I have a full shade range, but I'll use a darker shade of concealer for liquid contour because I think it looks the most natural. If you could turn your head that way. Her cheekbone's right here. I'm gonna put it right above. And just kind of slightly blend it out, bring it up the temple.
Do you prefer liquid over powder?
Yes, but we're gonna use powder to set as well.
Okay.
So I always do a double layer. It's just so much better in terms of longevity. And you kind of use like less product that way because yes, you're using 2 different kinds of products, but you're using a little bit of each instead of like so much powder bronzer to get the effect that you want, that it's like too heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I can definitely see how I
A good line of reference is the top of your ear. You want it to go like this. This is a good line of reference for contour / bronzer. And then sometimes if someone's doing like a heavy glam, which this is like much more natural, I would bring it down here and sculpt out the chin or jawline, turn the other way for me. But we're just doing more, I mean, everyday, but still glam, but not like super, super, super glam. The base routine, you could do this daytime or nighttime, and then you can kind of play up with the eyes. And then I like to do blush before concealer. Liquid blush, shocker. These are my favorite liquid blushes ever. The Flower Beauty liquid blushes. My favorite shade is, I think it's Bubbly. It's so used that it's worn off. But I always, again, I mix. So I like to mix Bubbly and Bitten, and then that one's like a more coral one. That one's Melon, I think. But yeah, I know Melon. The other day I used these two. And these are pretty pigmented. They're not like as pigmented as the Rare Beauty ones, but they definitely have some pigment to them.
And you mix them together?
Yes. But I just like to mix all my colors. You don't have to. I just like to get, you're also like nice and tan right now too, so that's a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. Like this Bubbly would be a little bit too bright and light by itself, so I like to use Bitten to make it darker.
The tricks of the trade.
Got a little foundation in, that's okay. So that's kind of the shade that we're mixing. So look that way again. And you want to place the blush right above. We're going to blend it into, but you want to place it above and into the temple a little bit. And lightly pat it out. It's going to look a little crazy at first, but this is trust the process. When you set with powder and add concealer, it's gonna lighten up a little bit. And then look straight ahead. I'll put a little bit on the nose as well. Same thing where you wanna bring it up the temple. Blush used to be put like on the apples of the cheeks, which sometimes can look great, but it will kind of drag your face down a little bit. So the trend nowadays has been more to blend it up your temple. Kind of same thing with the bronzer. And then look straight ahead. I'm gonna put a generous amount on the bridge of your nose, because we're gonna go over with some concealer.
Okay, do you wanna show them
Yeah.
what you just mixed?
So I just mixed 2 shades again of the same concealer that we showed before. So we're gonna do, which you don't have to, I just pumped out the wrong one. So if you look in reference to the foundation, it's just like 1 or 2 shades lighter, nothing too crazy, which will give like a good highlight to the under eye. And then I like to use this brush. You can use a brush or a sponge. It's kind of like a buffer brush to disperse the product. I start with the forehead, and I kind of drag it out across the brows. I kind of make like a little dome on the dome, if you will.
A dome on the dome.
I start with the forehead, then I do some of the chin just to highlight that area. Then look up. I'll do the under eyes. And I want it to sit for a little bit too. So I place the other places first because then I'm gonna blend in the same order. And you don't want to do the full, we used to be taught like the full triangle down. You kind of want to keep it straight here and make it angle upwards to lift. So still a triangle, but a little different.
Almost like outward.
Yeah, not like I remember when you used to like be taught to do it like that when it was like 2016 makeup. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna use a little sponge. These are the AOA sponges. I just cut them up to make more use out of them and to just diffuse the lines. You can use the same brush, whatever tools you want. And this just melts into the skin like butter. Butter, 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 butter. Look up for me. And then I start with the inner corner and then drag it out. So you want to blend against the eye first, and then you kind of take the rest and diffuse back out into the blush and the bronzer to kind of melt everything together. So if we had had foundation all over the nose too, it would have been very like heavy right now. So now it's mostly just concealer and blush on the nose. And then look up again. I'm just gonna clean up right here. Get really close to that, your lash line. Could you turn this way for me? Thank you. And then whatever's left, I kind of just drag. You can look straight now. Straight this way.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I thought you were trying to like straight ahead at you.
No, you're good. And then I kind of just drag what's left on the nose, get it into the crevices. And then I like to take, this is just an extra step. You definitely don't have to do this, but I take a clean brush and I kind of just go back in everywhere and push everything in. I don't want any product on it so that if I had foundation, it would dull. Look this way for me. What I had just done, just to really get everything pressed and settled into the skin. And then before powder, this is for longevity, you can do, close your eyes, a light layer of setting spray. A light layer, as I do a million.
And what's the setting spray you used?
Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush. This is expensive, you don't need this, okay? I like to use this on my brides, but the e.l.f. Power Grip and the Morphe setting spray, and then I'll push this in too, are really good. I just still have that one left, so I'm gonna use it. But if I were to restock my kit, I wouldn't necessarily spend, it's like $45 for one of those bottles.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so if I do a few weddings, it's gone. So what I'll usually do is I'll mix them. Like if I still had my Morphe one in there, I would do Morphe first and kind of like end with this one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna go to powder. We're using hers, but this is actually a great powder. It's the Cover FX powder.
I can't even remember where I got that. I think I got it at Sephora.
It's a good powder, so definitely. I love the Huda Beauty ones. The One Size powder is really nice. And
because I have that one and the MAC one.
Yeah, MAC is good too. So before you set the under eyes, you're gonna go back on with your brush or sponge, whatever tool, look up and re-blend out to make sure there's no lines. Because if you set it when it's already creasing, which this concealer doesn't really crease that much, then you're setting those lines. So you wanna take a little bit of powder on the brush or sponge and then tap off the excess. So now it's evenly dispersed. Then look up, and I focus it on the under eyes and like around the nose first. So I'm gonna do the same thing, take a little, disperse it, so now it's nice and even. And then everywhere else, I'll usually just use a light fluffy brush. You can use a powder puff for like even more coverage, but I'm gonna just use my big fluffy brush. But again, I'm gonna tap off excess because you don't want patches of powder. You want it to be very even across the skin. And typically other areas, like you wanna set the cheeks really well and stuff, but you don't wanna be too heavy with the powder, especially when it's super hot out. You kinda want like a good mix. Because if it's so much powder, then when the oils and stuff try to come through, or the sweat even, it'll get pretty cakey. So you want it to be nice and even. And then we're gonna work on the eyes for a second.
Want to do a little bit like more?
Yes, like, I was kind of hoping you would do that.
Because we have the,
oh yeah. So this is discontinued, I'm sorry. I hope all of you have this, but this is the best eyeshadow palette that ever was made. It's the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette.
Not me being sad because
But
you use it on me.
But yeah, but whenever I do your makeup, I'll use it on you. But you can get these colors anywhere. It's just a really nice palette to have. These shimmers are like kind of unmatched. But I'll find other products when we go shopping, and I tell you which one's like good. We'll put up a comment or something that says which ones to go for. Now, another makeup artist trick is to use the concealer that you used, or whatever, your liquid bronzer, whatever you want to use, and use that as your eyeshadow base. Okay. So for longevity, and it's the perfect match. Yeah. So it kind of makes that shadow a little bit more. So I still have it on my palette of a hand. I have a palette, I just always end up using my hand. So I'm gonna take a light fluffy brush and pick up some product, and same thing where you want to tap it so that it's evenly distributed on the brush. Close your eyes for me. You always want to start on the outer part of the eye and just lightly diffuse. We already have that kind of concealer line there. You always want to place the brush with the most product where you want the most pigment. So you don't want to start in like the middle of the eye. I'm going to focus this on the outer part of the eye and then diffuse it outward. Okay. And then I'm going to just go to the other side for this one, and we'll let that set, and then we'll set it with powder after. You can use like a more defined brush if you want. I just like using a fluffy brush because I can kind of diffuse it as I'm placing it. I can do a whole video on just what brushes to use for what areas of the makeup process. And you can even take it a step further and do like a light concealer on the inner half of the lid too. I'm not gonna do that just because with the shadows, we don't really need it. We have looked down, we have the concealer on the eyes, so I'm going to set it with a similar brown tone, which will also kind of deepen it, because even though they're similar browns, it's gonna add dimension. So we'll set it as well as, I'm actually gonna do one eye and then I'll finish the other one after. Okay. And then,
that way you're not doing like 2 eyes on camera.
I'm a huge fan of a smoky wing, so we're gonna add a little bit more drama. So I'm gonna take the darkest brown and like a little thin pencil brush, which is really precise. Okay. Again, always tap off the excess. And then you want to start at the end of the eye, a little triangle, and just keep extending out. But each time you put more shadow on, you want to put the brush, like the pigment, where you want it most. And then when it's pretty much off the brush is when you kind of drag. A fluffy brush, but it's a little bit angled, so I'm going to take a middle brown shade, this one, look down, and then just put that kind of right where they meet, and then I'll go back with my first brush and just kind of diffuse with no extra. And now we're going to go in with the shimmer. So I'm going to use, everyone kind of has a preference on what brushes they like to use for that. I like to use a dense but also kind of fluffy brush. I'm gonna pick up the shimmer that I want to use, and then, like, nice and heavily, hope you can see how heavy that is packed on the brush. And then you're gonna spray it with your setting spray. Did I get it? Oh god, I can't see. There we go. Which is gonna make it almost like a molten, like, kind of consistency, so it's gonna feel cold. It kind of changes the texture into more of like a paste, if that makes sense, and I'll just intensify it and put that all over the first part of the eye. And you want to pat it, not drag it. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to dip the same brush, and you can kind of, again, once most of the product's off the brush, you can just God. And then under the eye, we didn't do this the other day. We did a little bit more natural the other day, so I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow underneath the eye. I just mix with like the browns that we used. I kind of just mix them all together.
Okay.
Little brush. And this is my favorite highlighter of all time. You don't have to get like this one with all the colors. I like to have it in my kit. It's by Ofra. It's their Beverly Hills highlighter. I just bought a new one recently.
Ooh.
And then, so it has every shade you could want. It's like $45. But
Okay,
you
so
can
it's
also,
one of the expensive.
yeah, but you can, yeah, one of the more expensive products. But you also can get like a split pan or a full pan of your favorite one. So, and it'll literally last you forever. Look down. We're just gonna do a little brow highlight. And then I'm also gonna take this in the inner corner. You can wet this too, but honestly, you like don't even need to, which is kind of crazy. Just to diffuse it. Put a little bit of mascara on the bottom for ya. Go ahead and blink, look up again. A lot too. This is like a mix in between.
Oh, I like that
Ooh,
one.
I like this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, this is my go-to. I always end up using it. All right. If this was a bride that I was doing, we would have put moisturizer or like some sort of lip balm on to sit.
Oh, what's?
Oh, sorry. This is. It's been rubbed off because I've used it so many times. This is off of an Amazon purchase that I made. I'll leave it linked or find it to link so Dominica can do it. It's a set of lip liners. There's like 30 of them for like $15.
Mmm.
And they're actually so good. So I like to line and then kind of bring it in, feather it into the lip too. Go ahead and rub your lips together. So it adds like a little bit of pink, but not too much.
Yeah.
Right? Do you like it?
I like it. It's
Okay.
cute.
Okay, you keep this then.
That's so cute. Okay, see, this is why I trust you as.
And sometimes
makeup
I even put
artist.
a lip stain in the middle, like a pinky one too.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's actually been a trend called cherry cola lips.
Oh.
Where you do kind of like a more brown nude, and then.
Oh, sorry. I need this whole lip combo because I'm obsessed. This is the NYX
Honestly, since
Fat Oil Lip Drip. Like, I'm obsessed. I don't have big lips at all, and like it makes me feel super confident. I feel like that's one of the things I've always felt the least confident about.
I can teach you about overlining too, which I
Okay.
didn't do, but I can teach you about that.
Okay.
We'll do that. We can do a separate video if we want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna finish up the other eye. I'll do it really. Okay. Final touches.
Final.
We did the other eye. Did a layer. Oh my god, I can speak of setting spray. I'm gonna do a little bit more blush. Blush is the first thing typically to leave your face, so I always do a little bit extra, especially if I'm doing a wedding or something, just to liven the face back up. And then I also like to take the highlighter we used, this one, and the pinky shades in it, and kind of use that as like a blush topper. Oh my goodness, wait, turn your head. Ooh, the glow. Okay, you can turn it back now.
Oh, it is glowing.
Right? But it's not like too much. It like blends in with the blush. And then we're gonna highlight the nose. And then we could add a little bit more bronzer. These are all Juvia's Place bronzers. I depotted them in a Color Pop.
Oh, you put them in a color pop?
And a magnetic palette. Same with these. Well, these were actually Color Pop blushes, which are really nice. I'm not gonna open that again.
Those were color pop
Yes.
blushes?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I just bought another empty palette, which you can do with them. And then I depotted, like I brutally depotted my Juvia's Place bronzers and put them in here.
Oh, okay.
Because
I didn't know you could do that.
Well, I mean, you don't need to. For an everyday person, like you would just get the one you need, right? But for me, since I have to work on every other skin tone, so I'm gonna do a light mix.
Okay.
Perfect. We're done.
We are done.
Now
Should
we
we
have
add more gloss?
You want more gloss? We can.
Should we add
It's
more
your gloss now.
Okay, can you actually show me the over?
Yeah, here, actually, before we have more gloss, let's take it off, like just blot it off, and I'll add more lip liner and kind of show you how to do that.
Okay.
I just use this on my hand.
All right,
So
darling.
just pat it on your lips, get the gloss off, and I'll show you how to overline. Let me see if I have my...
But why are like kiss marks so cute?
They
Like,
are so cute.
I got little lips, but okay.
It's still pretty sharp, but
Okay.
So what you want to do is you essentially want to draw right above the line. So I'm going to do it on one side so you can see the difference. So you also want to overline more in the center than on the outside, because the outside it's going to look like very clownish. So I always start in the middle, just slightly above. And then once you get to this point, you want to bring it back into your natural lip line. You see how that, and you can do it even more, but just a little bit in like the first half, and then you bring it down and connect it. The bottom, you want to be careful. Same thing, you don't want to overdraw on the bottom until you get to right here. So usually you can just do it right underneath. So look at just the difference on each side of how big your lips look.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Juicy. So I'll do it on the other side. So again, you're gonna start over here. We can put the lip gloss on.
It makes such a huge difference.
Right? I mean, Kylie did get lip filler, okay? But just to get like a little, I'm gonna just mix 2 lipsticks together to get like this kind of berry shade.
Okay.
And then just open your, yeah, perfect. I'm gonna pat this in the middle. And
Not
rub
it
your lips
smelling
together.
like cherry.
I know, it smells so good. Then rub them together.
Okay.
So that's like an extra barrier of that color, so you're not getting it just from the gloss.
Okay.
Then you would put the gloss.
Oh my god.
Yes, queen.
That is so cute. I love this whole like look.
So
like this would be
no, we're good.
my everyday look if I could.
Wake up looking like this. If only we could all be like so pretty.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so pretty every day, but
Okay. And this is the one you used, right?
yes.
Okay.
So we'll get you a lip stain.
Yes. I'm literally obsessed with this lip combo because I'm never confident when it comes to my lips.
Really?
And like this lip
Yeah,
combo
that's what
is everything.
before I got lip filler, that's what I would do.
Like,
I mean,
so cute.
I won't do it now because I don't have any makeup on, but even I still do it sometimes because my lips aren't like newly filled.
Even though they still look so
They,
good.
they do still look pretty good, but I can tell a little bit of a difference. Like I like them to be a little bit more
full.
A little bit more full. Because I have big ass teeth. Okay, let's look. Okay, here's a finished look, everybody. And now we have to finish our TikToks before we forget.
Okay, so we'll show you the finished products here. I'll just overlay them and let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all, I'm dying laughing right now because we turned off the camera, but like there has to be a blooper reel somewhere for Brew.
We could do a whole separate video on blooper reels at this point, and we haven't even started the makeup.
Oh, I think I fucked that up.
Please save that. It was so aggressive. Okay, here's what you gotta do. It's gotta be aggressive so that the powder moves, but not like with your face. Like just a strong. What just